Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Stay In. It's Friday night. Yes, sorry, no intro video this week. It's been a hectic week one way or another, so I didn't get around to doing that, unfortunately. So yeah, sorry if you were expecting some technical wizardry this week. Maybe next time. Hey, yeah. So welcome to our sports edition of the Stay In pub quiz. I have, if I lift up here, I'm wearing the football kit of my under 15s football team from way back 20 odd years ago. When we won the treble, and we were in the Anglesey League and the two cups as well. So yes, there you go. That's my old football team kit. I'm gonna make a swift change during the break into another kit as well. So yeah, that's my junior football team, Tinnagongwell, up on Anglesey. So yeah, that's me dressed up as a sports person. Has anybody else dressed up as a sports person? Well, of course they have. We've got the regulars, haven't we? Here we go. So we have got on the top there, we got my mum and dad, always dressing up, aren't they? So dad's got his scarlet rugby shirt on there, best team there. Mum's having a go at doing some discus with a dog toy. There we go. And we've got Graham and Alison down at the bottom. As you can see, Graham has gone to town with his biking gear on, and Alison seems to be running somewhere. So there you go. Thank you for dressing up this week. Put that on full screen there. So yeah, obviously lots of you already, you know that I'm going to ask what you're drinking, and you're already telling me. So yeah, I'm still on my Foy Brewery, because I got quite a few of those. Nice IPA here. So what have we got? We've got cider from the Woodhill Wonders. There you go. Natalie is on the craft gin. Oh, there you go. Sounds lovely. What is everyone else drinking? Cheers. So yeah, I know some of you are a little bit worried about the sports edition, because you might not know much about sports. As usual, it's going out to test teams who've scored reasonably well on it, actually. Even I made sure that I got some people who didn't know much about sports. So hopefully there are questions that everyone can answer. We're going to start off with a sports round. Then we're going to move on to a film round. But they're all films that have a link to sports in some way. We'll have our interval, where there's a picture round. Oh, it's not a picture round actually, it's a Ditloid round this week. I'll explain about that in a moment. And then afterwards we have got a geography round, where all of the answers are cities that have hosted the Olympics. And finally we've got a general knowledge round, where there is also I'll explain how that links to sport, but it is general knowledge. So yeah, if you're good at films, you should be all right. Geography should be all right, and general knowledge as well. So there is a sport theme, but it does cover lots of other topics as well. Malcolm is there in his Speedos. Not sending us a picture though, are you, Malcolm? There you go. So a few soft drinks, and he's on soft drinks, are you? There you go. Yeah, so this is the last Stay In pub quiz in this format. I spoke last week about how it's going to change. I'm going to double check about that. I'm going to tell you about that again at the break, just to remind you. But thank you to everyone who has sent in their messages wanting to carry on when I kind of change it to work with local pubs from next week. So I've got about 15 teams I think signed up already, so thank you very much for your support from the length and breadth of the country, and of course you're welcome to carry on from next week. If there are any last minute people want to join in, I've already had 3 emails today of people wanting to join in next week. Yeah, just keep on emailing, and we'll go from there. So we've got some more drinks, have we? Oh, Matt, Lisa and Gordon on the proper job and the Prosecco tonight. Oh, proper job. Oh, I might have some of that tomorrow night. So I think I have moided on enough for us to begin the quiz in a few moments. So I'll just give you a second to get yourself ready, and then if you just put in the comments that you are ready, and then we'll begin the first round, our sports round. Malcolm, I don't really want to imagine in your speedos, I'm afraid. You may look great, I don't know, but yeah, I'll keep my mind on the quiz rather than you in a state of undress. Oh, Maddie.
I think number 4 on the picture man needs a letter change.
Oh, there might be a problem on the ditloids. Hang on. So yeah, your ditloids. I'll mention those things. Maddie says there's a mistake. I'll come up to those in a second. So yeah, your ditloids. If you haven't ever done these before, it's a mixture. It's a mixture of letters and numbers, and you have to make the phrase. For example, 11p in a FT is 11 players in a football team. Which letter is wrong?
I think it's a lowercase.
Oh yes, it has come out as a lowercase, Maddie said yes. So on number 4, it should be 50m equals L of an OSP. So yeah, that's come up in lowercase, so it looks like an I. Yes, so that is 50m equals L of an OSP. I'll remind you of that during the interval when I put that up. Thank you, Maddie, for noticing. So, yeah, I've had lots of readies, so let's go for it, shall we? Sports round, here it is. I had it in a slightly different place. Okay. Oh, Chris is joining in, not drinking because he's got 5k tomorrow. Good luck with that, Chris. Lots of us have been out already, haven't we? I'll mention that later on. Anyway, round 1 is your sports round. Let's get it over and done with for those of you who are fearing it. So round 1, question 1. In what year did England win the Rugby World Cup? In what year did England win the Rugby World Cup? Cheers to anyone playing the drinking game. Question 2. How many times has London hosted the Olympic Games? How many times has London hosted the Olympic Games? Question 3. Which sporting event starts at Putney Bridge and ends at Chiswick Bridge? Which sporting event starts at Putney Bridge and finishes at Chiswick Bridge? Question 4. Which sports world championship was played in the Lakeside Country Club from 1986 until 2019? So which sports world championship was played in the Lakeside Country Club from 1986 until 2019? I should say one of their world championships, because there were 2 world championships in the sport. The Lakeside Country Club, 1986 until 2019. It's a tragedy when it moved. Question 5. With which sport would you associate the Chicago Bulls and the LA Lakers? With which sport would you associate the Chicago Bulls and the LA Lakers? Question 6. Which British city will host the 2022 Commonwealth Games? Which British city will host the 2022 Commonwealth Games? Question 7. Who was the first British cyclist to win the Tour de France? Who was the first British cyclist to win the Tour de France? Question 8. What is the fewest number of shots that a player could make to win a set in tennis? What is the fewest number of shots that a player could make to win a set of tennis? Pardon? A set. The fewest number of shots to win a set in tennis. Okay, question 9. Where would you find Valentine's and the canal turn? Where would you find Valentine's and the canal turn? I keep getting error messages coming up. I'm hoping your stream's not been interrupted. So I'm just trying to sort that out, so I keep going quiet. Hopefully that sorted it out. And question 10 in this round. Joe Davis won the first 15 World Championships in which sport? Joe Davis won the first 15 World Championships in which sport? It does look like my error messages have disappeared, which is excellent. Just if there is a problem with the string, just put it in the comments for me. But hopefully it is all sorted. That brings us to the end of the sports round. Hopefully it wasn't too bad for those of you who aren't sports fans. And for those of you who are sports fans, hopefully some of them gave you enough to think about. I'll just give you a little while as normal to settle on your answers. Repeat question 8 from Malcolm. Oh yes, this is the toughie. So what is the fewest number of shots that a player could make to win a set of tennis? How many of you sitting there going, I'm trying to work it out. Oh dear, Danny. Maybe you're better at films that involve sport. I'll just move on to round 2 now, which is your sports in films. So, question 1 in your films round tonight. Which film character set off on a run from Greenbow, Alabama, and eventually crossed America from coast to coast 5 times? Which film character set off on a run from Greenbow, Alabama, and eventually crossed America from coast to coast 5 times? As I was researching this, I found out that somebody has actually gone and done it for real and have beaten the fictional record. Question 2. Who played the role of Nelson Mandela in the film Invictus, which was the film based on the 1995 Rugby World Cup? Who played the role of Nelson Mandela in the film Invictus, which was the film based on the 1995 Rugby World Cup? Question 3. According to the title of the film, Jesminda and Juliet had to bend it like who? According to the title of the film, Jesminda and Juliet had to bend it like who? Can I repeat the first part of question 1? So which film character set off on a run from Greenbow, Alabama, and eventually crossed America from coast to coast 5 times? I gave you the whole question because I didn't know what you meant by the first part. Question 4. During the opening ceremony of the 2012 Olympic Games, Mr. Bean helped perform the theme song from which classic sporting film? During the opening ceremony of the 2012 Olympics, Mr. Bean helped perform the theme song from which classic sporting film? Just remember it happening. The theme song started and it panned out and you saw it was Mr. Bean doing it and you knew it was going to be great. Question 5. Which Disney film was centered around 4 Jamaican sprinters who compete in the 1988 Winter Olympics? Which Disney film was centered around 4 Jamaican sprinters who compete in the 1988 Winter Olympics? Question 6. So we're going to stay in the 1988 Winter Olympics here. And I would like to know which actor played the role of Eddie the Eagle in the film of the same name. So the film was called Eddie the Eagle. So which actor played the character of Eddie the Eagle in the film Eddie the Eagle? Question 7. Adam Sandler takes up which sport in the film Happy Gilmore in order to win enough prize money to buy back his grandma's house? So Adam Sandler takes up which sport in the film Happy Gilmore in order to win enough prize money to buy back his grandma's house? Question 8. The groundbreaking documentary film Murderball followed the US and Canadian teams preparing to compete in which Paralympic sport? The groundbreaking documentary film Murderball followed the US and Canadian teams as they prepared to compete in which Paralympic sport? Question 9. What was the surname of boxer Rocky in the series of films? What was the surname of the boxer Rocky in the series of films? And finally, in this round, which Oscar-winning documentary film told the story of climber Alex Honnold as he climbed El Capitan with no ropes or protection? So which Oscar-winning documentary film told the story of the climber Alex Honnold as he climbed El Capitan with no ropes or protection? Absolutely incredible shots on that film, by the way. They make you just not want to watch. So that brings to an end our second round, the films round, which are all linked to sport. So hopefully you're still with me at this point. As usual, we're going to go for a quick break now so that you can use the facilities, visit the bar at the stay and all of that malarkey. And as usual, I'll put up our picture for our diploid round for this week. So let me just click that on. There you go. So you're just completing these phrases as such. Where the letters are, you just fill in the words. And I'll just remind you that question 4, it's come up lowercase for some of the letters, so it isn't clear. The question 4 is 50m equals L of an OSP. Yes, madam.
What's it in 8?
Pardon?
Is 8 the right thing?
8 is an I. So 8 is 6p in an IHT. Yeah, so I'll just mute myself. I'll come back in a few minutes and talk to you about a few things before we do the answers to rounds 1 and 2. So I shall speak to you soon. Goodbye. Just had a request to repeat question 8. So that is the groundbreaking documentary film Murderball followed the US and Canadian teams as they prepared to compete in which Paralympic sport? Right, I'll be away from the computer for a few minutes, so any more repeats I'll do when I come back. Okay, I'm back. It's been pointed out to me that I've made a bit of a error in this Ditloids thing. Question 3, I've made a horrendous error in it, so I apologise for this. It's 8p in a RUS. I have to make it clear to you that that is from one team. I should have added that on. So 8p in a RUS from one team. So really sorry about that. Yeah, where that's come from, I have to apologise. Sorry, I'm only human. But yeah, hopefully that's not put you off too much, or I haven't confused the matters even more by saying that. But yes, really sorry about that. That's going to be up there with, in my mind, with Morocco bordering Spain and all of that controversy that happened a few months ago by now, wasn't it? Anyway, I'm going to come back. I'll put those back up at the end of the quiz while we have a quick break. I've had a quick change. So I was wearing my junior football team top. I'm now in my East Cornwall Harriers vest. Seeing as that is who I compete for. I've been competing for them today, as Chris mentioned. We're doing virtual relays because we can't do races at the moment. So I got out and did a leg for the Harriers today, out by myself. Great fun, managed to get a PB as well, so very pleased with myself on that front. Yeah, you got me in my Harriers vest for the rest of the quiz. There you go. Oh, Graham knew what I meant with the Ditloids, excellent. So, just before we go through the answers, I just want to reiterate what's happening with the quiz from next week. So, as you're aware, the pubs in England are opening from tomorrow onwards. Yes, go ECH, yes, thank you, Chris. So the pubs are opening from tomorrow onwards, and you will know if you follow the quiz, I'm a big supporter of pubs, because of, it's a great place to go out and socialise, and the local economy, and all of that sort of thing. Not going to go through all of that now, but I'm going to be, I keep saying working, I'm going to be volunteering with them to keep running the quizzes with 3 local pubs, just to hopefully help them out in some way as they reopen. So lots of you have emailed me at stclearquizzes@gmail.com to say you'd like to carry on. Perfectly welcome to do that if you'd like to carry on. But those of you who actually want to go and join in this, because you're in the local area, want to join in the way we're doing it, I know they're not opening in Leicester, Kai. This is what is going to happen with the quiz. For anyone who's watching who is going to go and visit either the market in St Cleer, the Manor House in Rilla Mill, or the Albion in Liskeard. So they will go to a pub and will be given a business card with all the details on how you sign up. That made the camera go really funny, didn't it? Okay, all they will do is in the pubs there will be a poster like this with a space for a password, and all the pubs have a different password, and you go onto squizzes.co.uk, pop in that password and your email address, and then that will populate a database for me of who has been in a pub and wants to join in the quiz, and then the link will be sent out to anyone who has signed up that way. Anyone who's already emailed me, you're in the database, so you will just get that email when it comes out. So don't worry if you're sitting in wherever, Anglesey, and get an email saying thank you for visiting the market in this week or whatever, because it's just easier for me to do the same email to everyone. So that's what's happening with the quiz, but you are all welcome to continue joining in, because you have been with me from the start, and I just want to thank you so much again. And to anyone who's not going to be carrying on, can I say thank you for joining in and giving up your Friday nights so far. It's been a pleasure quizzing with you, and I shall leave it at that for now. But yes, thank you, and if you'd like to carry on, please do. Right, let's do some answers to the first 2 rounds. Here we go. Got my answer book out here. So it sounds like we've got some high scores coming in, which is good to hear. So here we go. Round 1 was a sports round. So question 1. England won the Rugby World Cup in 2003. Question 2. London has hosted the Olympics 3 times. Question 3, sorry. Question 3. It is the boat race that starts at Putney Bridge and finishes at Chiswick Bridge. Question 4. The World Championship of Darts was held at the Lakeside Country Club. It was the BDO version before they did the whatever PDC, isn't it? DDC? I can never remember the acronyms. Anyway, it's darts is the answer for you. Question 5. The Chicago Bulls and LA Lakers are basketball teams. Question 6. The British city, which will host the Commonwealth Games in a couple of years, is Birmingham. Shout out to Pebbles at this point. I always like to drop a Birmingham question in for you if I can do. Question 7. The first Brit to win the Tour de France was Bradley Wiggins. Question 8. To win a set of tennis, the fewest number of shots is 12. That is a question that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire famously got wrong. 12 shots. You have 3 service games and serve 4 aces in each, and your opponent serves 12 double faults in their service games. So 12 shots. Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire had it down as 24. They forgot double faults. Question 9. You would find Valentine's and the Canal Turn at Aintree. Question 10. Joe Davis won the first 15 World Championships in snooker. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, the answer to question 3 was the boat race, but I can see that has already been answered in the chat for me. So there you go. It's sports round. Then we moved on to the film round, which is all about sports films in some way. So, round 2, question 1. The character that set off to run from Greenbow, Alabama was Forrest Gump. Question 2. In the film Invictus, Nelson Mandela was played by Morgan Freeman. According to the title of the film, Jesminda and Juliet had to bend it like Beckham. Question 4. In the 2012 Olympic opening ceremony, Mr. Bean helped perform the theme song from Chariots of Fire. Question 5. The Disney film about 4 Jamaican sprinters who competed in the Winter Olympics was Cool Runnings. Amazing film. I've got to watch that again sometime. And then question 6. It was Taron Egerton who played the role of Eddie the Eagle in the film. Question 7. In the film Happy Gilmore, Adam Sandler took up golf to win enough prize money to buy back his grandma's house. Question 8. The documentary Murder Ball was all about the teams preparing for wheelchair rugby. Absolutely brutal sport it is. Question 9. Rocky's surname was Balboa. And then question 10. The documentary about Alex Honnold climbing El Capitan without any ropes or protection was Free Solo. So there you go. Those are your answers to those rounds. If you'd like to total up, if you want to post your score on the comments, you can do so. And we'll see how everyone's doing. If you're brave enough to share your comments there, it gives me a chance to get a drink. Maddie's good at sport. I keep telling Maddie she knows a lot more about sport than she actually thinks. She always scores well on it. Here we go. So we've got Chris on 13, Neil's on 18, Graham's on 11, Smith family on 14. Colin's on 17. Did anyone get the tennis one right? Or did you all fall into the trap and put 24 shots down? Oh, so here we go. We've got 16s, we've got 15s.
That's the only sport one I got wrong.
That's the only one Maddie got wrong. Oh, Mum and Dad got the tennis one right. So they got full marks there. 15 from the Slade Park Sinners. Okay. Right. Okay. Oh, lots of good scores. Oh, Neil fell in the trap. There we go. Colin got it. There you go. He's got the tennis one correct, but not much else. Oh dear, Chris. Right. Shall we move on then with round 3? So it's a geography round. And the answers to all of these are cities that have hosted the Olympics, either the summer edition or the winter edition. So yes, I say joke, there is one history question in there. I just threw it in there. I forgot to change it. Yeah, so all of your answers are Olympic host cities. Either hosted the Olympics in the summer or the winter Olympics. So round 3, question 1. We'll start off nice and simple, hopefully. What is the capital city of Greece? There we go. Oh, Kai's dad secured the tennis point for them. Well done, Kai's dad. Question 2. Here's your history question that I forgot to change. So, Charles Lindbergh completed the first solo transatlantic flight in a plane called the Spirit of where? So, Charles Lindbergh completed the first solo transatlantic flight in a plane called the Spirit of... Finish off that for me. Question 3. If you flew into Arlanda Airport, into which European city would you be landing? If you flew into Arlanda Airport, into which European city would you be landing? If I spell that for you before somebody asks, A-R-L-A-N-D-A, Arlanda. Question 4. In which city would you find the Brandenburg Gate? In which city would you find the Brandenburg Gate? Question 5. In which European city could you visit the Heineken Experience? In which European city could you visit the Heineken Experience? Heineken as in the beer. Question 6. In which city would you find the suburbs of Santa Monica and Beverly Hills? In which city could you find the suburbs of Santa Monica and Beverly Hills? Question 7. In which city could you see Edvard Munch's The Scream? So in which city could you see Edvard Munch's painting The Scream? You can actually see it in 2 different places. So there's more than one version, 2 of which are displayed in this city. The others are private collections apparently. Question 8. In which North American city would you find McGill University, which is ranked the 24th best university in the world? In which North American city would you find McGill University, which is ranked the 24th best university in the world? That's McGill, McGill. Two more in this round. Question 9. Within which city would you find Gaudi's unfinished masterpiece, the Sagrada Familia? In which city would you find Gaudi's unfinished masterpiece, the Sagrada Familia? And the final question in the Olympic host cities round: what is the state capital of New South Wales? What is the state capital of New South Wales? Okay, just while you're finalising any answers to that, I'm going to disappear off the screen for a few seconds and I'll be back. Sorry about that. I just finished my beer and I'd left my water through there so that I can continue sipping, so anyone playing the drinking game can carry on drinking themselves. Right, let's move on to the final round. So the final round, there are 10 questions of general knowledge, and then there is a bonus question. So you get a total of 51 points tonight if you get everything right. So the first letter of every answer in this round will give you an anagram of an Olympic sport. Okay, so if you get all of the answers right, take the first letters and you'll have an anagram of an Olympic sport. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you as a bonus question at the end. So 11 marks on this round. But it is general knowledge. So question 1 in the general knowledge round. Which animal is the offspring of a male donkey and a female horse? Which animal is the offspring of a male donkey and a female horse? Question 2. Which animated movie featuring the characters joy, sadness, anger, fear and disgust is set inside the mind of a young girl named Riley? Which animated movie featuring the characters joy, sadness, anger, fear and disgust is set inside the mind of a young girl named Riley? Question 3. What is the largest city in the United States in terms of population? What is the largest city in the United States in terms of population? Question 4. The fifth Harry Potter book was called Harry Potter and the what? The fifth Harry Potter book was called Harry Potter and the Question 5. Which spirit is made by fermenting and then distilling sugarcane? Which spirit is made by fermenting and then distilling sugarcane? Question 6. In which London railway station did the Brown family find a lost bear from deepest, darkest Peru? In which London railway station did the Brown family find a bear from deepest, darkest Peru? Question 7. In which city were the remains of King Richard III found underneath a car park? in which city were the remains of King Richard III found under a car park? Question 8. What was the name of the pet detective played by Jim Carrey in the 1994 film of the same name? So what was the name of the pet detective played by Jim Carrey in the 1994 film of the same name? Question 9. Which river flows through the city of Rome? Which river flows through the city of Rome? And finally, your final question in the quiz, apart from a tiebreaker, which we'll come to if we need to. The joule is the standard unit for what? The joule is the standard unit for what? Joule. Joule is the standard unit for what? Okay, so there we go. Those are all your questions for tonight. We've gone through all 4 rounds and the Ditloids. So what I'll do is I'll just flash up the picture around the Ditloids round just for a couple of minutes in case you need a quick break and for you to finalise any answers, and then I'll come back with the answers to the picture round or the Ditloid round first, and then rounds 3 and 4. So here comes your picture round again, and I shall speak to you in a couple of minutes. I forgot to remind you, there is an 11th question in that round where it's an anagram of the first letters gives you an Olympic sport. So don't forget to work out what the Olympic sport was. Okay, welcome back. So hopefully you've finalised your answers. So I'll start going through those. If I just get a few ready comments in the chat, then I'll know that we are back and ready, and that everyone hasn't just left the room. Go and get anything. So let me know when you're ready. We'll go through the answers to the diploids first, and then to rounds 3 and 4. Oh, Graham's ready. Graham is always the first one ready. Is anyone else ready is the next question. Appears it might just be you who's ready, Graham, unless everyone else has typed and it's not come through to me yet. There we go, there's a few more ready. Excellent. Oh, all of you coming through as soon as I said it. There you go. So let's go through the answers to our diploids. So, they're going to come up 5 at a time because I couldn't fit them all on the same screen. So here we go. Question 1 was 10 events in a decathlon. Question 2, 9.58 seconds is Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record. Question 3, 8 players in a rugby union scrum from one team. Yes, my error on that one, sorry about that. So 8 players in a rugby union scrum. Question 4, 15 metres is the length of an Olympic swimming pool. Question 5, 1966, England won the World Cup. Here's your first 5, here are your next 5. So we've got question 6, 180, it's maximum score in darts. Question 7, 26.2 miles in a marathon. Question 8, 6 players in an ice hockey team, not in an international handball team, although there are as well, so if you put an international handball team then you can have a point. Question 9, 18 holes on a golf course. And question 10 is 5 Olympic rings. Yes, it was pointed out to me it could have been 2 things for question 8, so there you go. And I can't believe it was the rugby one that I managed to accidentally mess up on, despite it being my favourite sport. Oh dear. So those are your answers to those. Let's go on to round 3. Here are your answers to round 3, which is the Olympic host cities. All of these cities have hosted either the summer edition of the Olympic Games or the winter edition. So question 1, the capital city of Greece is Athens. Question 2, Charles Lindbergh completed his flight in the spirit of St. Louis. Question 3, if you flew into Arlanda Airport, you would be landing in Stockholm. Question 4, the Brandenburg Gate is in Berlin. Question 5, the Heineken Experience is in Amsterdam. Question 6, you would find Santa Monica and Beverly Hills in Los Angeles. Question 7, you could see Edvard Munch's painting The Scream in Oslo. Question 8, McGill University is in Montreal. Question 9, Gaudi's unfinished masterpiece The Sagrada Familia is in Barcelona. And question 10, the capital of New South Wales is Sydney. And finally we had our general knowledge round, which led you to an anagram of an Olympic sports. Well, there's also 6 players on an indoor hockey team. Well, if you got that as well, you can have...
I'd like to say that as well.
Apparently there's 6 players in lots of sports. There you go. So general knowledge. Get me back on track here. Okay, question 1. The offspring of a male donkey and a female horse is a mule. Question 2. The animated movie featuring joy, sadness, anger, fear and disgust was Inside Out. Question 3. The largest city in the United States is New York. Question 4. The name of the 5th Harry Potter book was The Order of the Phoenix. The Order of the Phoenix is what you should have written down. 5. The spirit made by fermenting and distilling sugarcane is rum. 6. The Brown family found a lost bear in Paddington Station. Question 7. King Richard III was found under a car park in Leicester, where the pubs aren't opening. Question 8. It was Ace Ventura was the name of the pet detective, Ace Ventura. 9. The river that flows through Rome is the Tiber. And question 10. The joule is the standard unit for energy. So if you got all of those correct, you would have had written down your first letters minor plate, and minor plate is an anagram of trampoline. So your bonus point there is trampoline. So there you go. If you'd like to just total up what you've got, do you want to put them in the comments section? Let's see how everyone's done. Indoor hockey, an Olympic sport? No, it's not. Did I say it was an Olympic sport? I don't think.
You said 50 to the point.
Did I? But did I say it was an Olympic sport? I don't think I did. I think it just said 6p in an IHT, so it didn't have to be an Olympic sport. Ice hockey is a winter Olympic sport, and handball is an Olympic sport. So anyway, here we go. Colin's on 48. Oh, full marks in the last 3 rounds. Excellent, Colin. That's going to be an excellent score there. Yeah, so just while you're totaling up, let me get on my soapbox again. So the pubs are opening tomorrow. You know, people will have their own opinions on this. Some people will be happy about going back out. Some people will not be. I'm just going to say, as I did last week, if you are going to go back out to a pub and support these local businesses, please do so responsibly. They will have their guidelines in place. Follow what is in place when you're out there. We don't want a repeat of what we've seen on the beaches on the south coast. Those guidelines are in place for a reason. It's not going to be the same pub experience. If you are going to go out and enjoy the pubs, just do so responsibly, please. The last thing we want is a second spike, because people have drunk too much and have forgotten what they should be doing social distancing wise. Yeah, I will be going out because the Crow's Nest down the road, I'm confident that they've got it all right down there. They've got 5 tables inside the pub, of which I'm on one of them. So yeah, really happy with what they put in place there. They've got a traffic light system about where you can and can't go. All set up perfectly down there by the sounds of it. So yeah, if you are going to go out, be responsible about it, and don't be afraid to walk away if you don't feel comfortable there. But yeah, you still can support them in other ways as well. But there you go, that's me on my soapbox. So lots of great scores coming through. 35.5, there you go. We've got lots in the 40s, 41, 42, 47. We've got a few 48s come in here, so we've got lots on there. So the tie break is needed tonight. Sometimes do it for fun, but it is needed. So let's have a tie break question. So in the film round, I mentioned Forrest Gump setting out on a run from Greenbow, Alabama, and he eventually crossed America from coast to coast 5 times. So I would like to know, how long was Forrest Gump's run in miles? So Forrest Gump set off on this run. How long was it in miles? There you go. If you'd like to have a guess, or if you want to put it in the comments, or if you want to tell your teammates or whatever, have a go. How long was Forrest Gump's run in miles? That's a little bit of water here. Kai's liking sports questions. There you go, Kai. It's one of those things, isn't it? You either love it or you hate it. It seems to have gone down well tonight. Lots of big scores. Lowest I've seen coming is a 35, 32 possibly. Yeah, so as I always say, if you got over half marks, that seems good to me. But it's more about having fun rather than getting a high score. So yeah, I hope you've all had fun. There we go. So we've got 15,000 miles coming in there. Anyone else going to come in with a guess for Forrest Gump's run? We've got 5,136 from Kai. I'm guessing by the time I actually reveal the answer, I'll have a lot more comments there. We've got another 15,000 coming in from Matt. So, Forrest Gump's run, it was very close guesses, Slay Park Sinners and to Matt, Lisa and Gordon. It was actually 15,248 miles. So 15,248 miles Forrest Gump ran. It was mentioned in the film. Took him 420 days or something like that. Actually, interestingly enough, when the guy set out to try and do it in real life, he took around about that long as well. So it is a realistic thing. Filmmakers didn't make it up for a random number. So yeah, there you go. Forrest Gump's run was 15,248 miles long. So that brings us to the end of another stay-in virtual pub quiz. In fact, the last stay-in virtual pub quiz, because it won't be called the stay-in after this, because we don't have to stay in as such anymore. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me again on a Friday night, giving up your time. To those of you who are returning next week, I will look forward to seeing you then. To those of you who aren't, thank you so much for joining in over these last 14 weeks, I think it is, 14, 15 weeks, whatever. Yeah, it's been a real pleasure doing these quizzes. Will be more or less the same next week, but yes, thank you so much to everyone who has joined in. One of the highlights of my week, so yes, thank you very much. Yeah, and hopefully I'll see some of you again quite soon. But stay safe, good night, and yes, thank you once again.